In this short 10-minute video, I'm going to show you how ClickTools users are improving customer loyalty and reducing customer defection by implementing an automated closed-loop feedback program. What we see here is a typical customer journey where I've identified touch points where I want to collect feedback. So as a company, we organise events, so I want to do an event follow-up survey. Obviously, we take orders and we use opportunities for that, so I want to find out how that interaction went, so I want to send out a survey when an opportunity has been closed, won or lost. I also want to automate the sending of relationship surveys out of Salesforce. But in this particular example here, I'm going to show you how we can send out a survey after a case is closed when we take a support call from a customer. So let's go into my Salesforce org. So here we can see we've got a fairly standard Salesforce org where I'm using contacts and accounts, and this contact here, Adam Gill at XYZ Company, has just logged a case with us, which I think as a support person I've closed. So what I'm going to do here is close the case. So I'm going to mark the case with the status of closed. Case reason is other. Let's put in here problem resolved. Okay, we can't spell, so let's put that in there, and let's click on save. So that case has now been marked with the status of closed. So I've got a workflow rule set up behind the scenes that's going to send out a survey to this email address here. So let's go to that Google Mail account. So this survey email invitation has just come out here directly from my Salesforce org. Obviously there's the case number and the case description, so the recipient knows it's relevant. Obviously very timely because it's come out directly from Salesforce after that interaction. So here's our survey. Now what we've got here is quite a plain looking survey, but the survey can be as rich as you want. It can follow any corporate brand guidelines using the powerful ClickTools template editor using HTML, CSS. Obviously we include images, video and JavaScript if needed. The survey itself can be in multiple languages. Here we can see now we've got a Finnish version of that survey, so you can give the recipient the option of completing the survey in their preferred language. So I'm going to go ahead and complete this survey. So I'm the customer now, so my first question is around customer satisfaction. So let's say we're going to give that a 2. That's score 3 here. Let's say the technical skills as a support engineer I really wasn't happy with, and let's go ahead and complete the rest of this survey here. So here's where we're asking for the reason why that those low scores have been given. So let's put in here the engineer did not understand my issue. So obviously you're not going to be very happy with that. So this customer is not happy with the way that support call was handled at all. Underneath here we're giving the customer the capability to code that comment. So what did your comment primarily relate to? So I've got some options in here, and I've got some logic or some skip logic on this survey that says if somebody scores me below 3 on any of those options above and picks certain options from this list, then present different questions. So here we've got a question or several questions being piped in which is asking the customer what they want us to do about their level of dissatisfaction here. So I'm going to choose the top one on behalf of the customer, obviously, which says I would like to have the call reopened and escalated to a manager. So using the power of the ClickTools mapping, we're going to be notified in Salesforce in real time now that we've got an unhappy customer, and the customer wants the call escalated, and somebody needs to call the customer in the quickest possible time. So it's great having the top line results in Salesforce where we can do our reporting via reports and dashboards in Salesforce, but what we want to be highlighted of is individual service failures like this. Obviously there are many customers that don't bother complaining and they just defect, so we want to be notified in real time when we've got a customer with a complaint or an issue that they're not happy with. So let's go ahead and hit submit. So that has been passed into Salesforce in real time. Using the power of our enterprise license here, we've put some logic into the survey that says if somebody is unhappy with a certain question on the survey, then present a different message. So here we're saying to the customer, we're really sorry you're not happy with the way that support call was handled, and somebody will be in contact with you shortly. Obviously, if the customer was very happy, we might have sent them to a landing page where we're talking about product upsells or warranty upgrades, that sort of thing. But in this example here, the customer's expressed a level of dissatisfaction, so we don't want to be talking about upselling or upgrading at all. What ClickTools has also done through the power of our actions and alerts is sent the customer an email. So this is the customer's email inbox here. So an email has been sent out to the customer saying, we're really sorry that you're not happy with that recent interaction about this case number here. So ClickTools has piped in the case number from Salesforce. So we close the loop in two ways there. We've obviously presented the customer with a customized exit page, and we've also sent the customer an email. Now, you probably wouldn't want to use both of those mechanisms there. So let's go back into Salesforce and see what's happened there. So we're back on the case, and I'm just going to press F5 to refresh the screen. So the first thing we'll see ClickTools has done is actually change the status of the case to escalated. So using the power of our CRM mapping, we've changed that field from closed to escalated, because that's what we gave the customer the option of. Do you want that case escalated? Now, if that was a standard survey and not a closed case survey, let's say it was an NPS survey, something like that, you could get ClickTools to create a case if you wanted to use cases for service recovery action. But what we've done here is change this status of this case to escalated. What ClickTools has also done is written the survey feedback, that survey response, to a custom object called customer surveys, and it's related that custom object to the case. So here we can see that we've got the survey response directly linked to the case, and as you can see here, it's also linked to the contact and the account. So a Salesforce solution is very customizable, and you decide how you want the feedback to look in your Salesforce org. But what I've got here is the completed survey response from Adam Gill. So here's where he said the overall satisfaction of the call was 2. He gave 2 there. He gave obviously the skill of the support engineer 1, which was very low, and that's why he gave this comment here. The engineer did not understand my issue. So obviously we've been alerted to that fact in real time, and here's the completed survey response. So if I go back to the contact record now, we can see that ClickTools has also notified us of that negative feedback using Salesforce Chatter. So here we're using the standard feed on the contact record. You could also display that on the account. You could also write to a private Chatter group if you wanted to. But any Salesforce user now following this account can see here that this customer, Adam Gill, is an unhappy customer after completing a recent support survey. And there's a link to the completed survey if you wanted to display that in there as well. So if you were using Chatter out in the field, you never had access to Salesforce, but you did have access to Chatter, you'd be able to see the completed survey response there. Now if I scroll down the contact record here, what I've also got is some custom fields on the contact record where ClickTools has written some valuable information. So here's a CSAT score of 2. So anybody interacting with Adam Gill now can look down here and see what the last customer satisfaction score was from Adam, and then obviously treat any other interaction or conversation differently based on that low survey score here. Here we can also see the date and time the survey was received, so we can use that in future survey deployments. And here we can see the last survey that was completed by Adam. As I say, you might have several transactional surveys and relationship surveys. So what this is here is a snapshot of the last completed survey. So if I scroll further down, we can then see that related list to the custom object at the contact level. Obviously, if Adam had completed several surveys, they'd all be here, but this is the first survey he's completed, and again we could drill down into that record as well if we wanted to. If I scroll a bit further down, we can see that there's the case that was escalated, but we're also using here activities to notify us of unhappy customers. So here we've assigned that to Andy Walton, a Salesforce user. It could be assigned to the account owner. You might also want to assign an activity to a senior manager. So you've got several people that have been made aware that we've got an unhappy customer. Obviously here we'd use Salesforce reporting and dashboards for top line results, and we're certainly willing to demonstrate that to you and also discuss the main benefits of setting up a continuous feedback program with ClickTools and Salesforce to enable you to be a true customer company, and we'd love to have that conversation with you. But hopefully this has shown you the power of ClickTools and a Salesforce solution, and as I say, we look forward to perhaps demonstrating that in a bit more detail. Thank you for your time.